Is the air inside your home hurting you and your family? Hi, I'm Bernice Hunt, and I am a brain health specialist. I work with women just like you who've been experiencing a few memory challenges, and I help you to stay sharp so that as you age, you can still travel, have fun with your grandkids, and experience new adventures without missing a beat. As a public school teacher for over 30 years, I was trained to create the best possible learning environment for the students. Now, as a spouse or a parent, don't you want to create the best possible atmosphere in your home? Now, did you catch my last video? My last video was about indoor air pollution. So if you didn't get a chance to look at it, it's still on my Facebook page, or it's also on my YouTube channel. Keep your brain sharp. You can go take a look there. And I was talking about indoor air pollution and how to reduce it. So take a look at that. But today I want to go a little deeper and talk about why you should intentionally make more of an effort to do whatever you can to reduce the indoor air pollution, and give you some tips on how you can do just that. Okay, so did you know that 1 in 3 Americans live in an unhealthy air place? The air around them is actually unhealthy air in 1 out of 3 Americans. And they have regulations for that outdoor air pollution, and they're improving on that. They're trying to do better with that. But regarding indoor air pollution, not so much. They haven't kept up to the level that they have with the outdoor air pollution. So 90% of us actually spend more time indoors. So we need to get up to par with that and do what we can to help with that, because 90% of our time is indoors. And actually the air that's indoors is actually often more polluted than the air that's outdoors. And where are we? Indoors. Okay, so how bad is it? There's a lot of things that are happening indoors. You all know about cigarette smoke and how bad that is, and especially should not be smoking indoors. You should not be smoking around children or the elderly, because it's worse for them. Even if you open the window, open the doors, that is not going to cut it. The carcinogens are still there. They said there's about 7,000 of them in the cigarette smoke. So that is a no-no, something you don't want to do. We also know about the outdoor pollution that comes in, okay, through the cracks and crevices and through the walls, through the windows, that kind of thing. And so certain times of the day would not be the best time to open up those windows, okay? Open up those doors, okay? So you need to be cognizant of that as well. But there are also other things that are indoors that are creating that buildup of pollution inside, okay? So what are some of them? One of them is what they call VOCs, volatile organic compounds, and particulate matter. That's tiny little pieces of matter that's floating in the air that you can't smell, that you can't see, but you are inhaling. They're coming into your body, and they can accumulate, and they can do some things either short-term or long-term in there over time. And so you want to be cognizant of that, because they're in the different materials, the building materials of your house. They're in liquid things that you're using, your cleaners, your air fresheners, your sprays, your paints, your adhesive, your solvents, all kinds of stuff, your carpeting, your laminate flooring. They're in a lot of things. So we want to try to get that stuff out of our house. Okay. The other thing is something we're going to focus on a lot in the next few minutes. It is your fuel burning appliances. It's the things that burn gas or wood or coal, those things, of course, like your fireplaces, your furnaces, but also your gas stoves and your gas dryers and your gas ovens. Okay, those things are releasing pollution that you really need to address. It has carbon dioxide that's coming from those gas things. They're going nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, formaldehyde. Those are things that are coming from those gas burning appliances that we may not even realize. So we especially want to talk about what we can do regarding that. Of course, just like the last video, I talked about ventilating. Okay, so open those windows, open those doors whenever you can. And we also talked about removing the source of it. Whatever the source of the thing is, stop using those cleaners or whatever. So we won't go over that again. But I want to talk specifically today about exhaust fans. Because in California, and I'm not sure about the other states, but I know in California, exhaust fans in your kitchen are not mandatory. They're not part of the building code. They're not required to have exhaust fans in your kitchen. You are required to have them in your bathroom, but not in your kitchen. And that's a place where it could be very, very helpful if they are in there. So you can check your kitchen and make sure they are, especially you would want the one that have the duct, not D-U-C-K, D-U-C-T, duct, the ventilation where the air is actually sucking it up and pushing it outside, not just circulating. When it just has the exhaust fan on there without the duct on there, it's just circulating it in your house, which I guess is better than nothing, but you still need to open up the windows or the doors so they can get outside. You want it to get outside. So the duct fan is the one, the exhaust fan is one you want. And a lot of people they don't turn them on until they actually smell something burning or they see some smoke or they don't like the odor that something's creating, and then they'll cut it on to get that odor out or something. But that's not the best time to cut it on. The best time to turn on that exhaust fan is when you start cooking, and to leave it on while you are actually cooking so it can be sucking up that air. And they actually say that you could continue having that exhaust fan run about 15 minutes after you stop cooking to make sure those pollutants get out of your house. Okay? Also, they also say that if you just have a fan, make sure that's circulating, but you need to clean the filter on that often. And you also need to make sure your windows are open and stuff when you are cooking. Okay? Also, they ask you to put it on the high setting. If you have the exhaust fan, to turn on the highest setting to get it out, and to start cooking from the back burners, which I didn't realize to do. But if you start, most of the time, I'll talk about me, I start cooking, I'll put it on the front burner. And usually the front burner, at least on my stove, has the wider thing. So where the fire is, it's the wider version versus the other ones. But they say if you sit it on the back ones, it does a better job. The exhaust fan can do a better job of taking those pollutants up into the duct and taking it outside. So they said start with the back burners, and then if you need more space for cooking, then you can go on to the front burners. So I thought that was interesting. They also talked about the height from the stovetop. They talked about it being 24 to 30 inches above and not more than 36, because it doesn't do a good job of sucking it up. Okay. So I thought those are just interesting points to know, and that you should use it often at the high speed. Even though it may be noisy, it's doing a lot for clearing your air with those pollutants, because you don't want those things. Also, it's not only the air pollutants in terms of the, carbon monoxide and those things, but it also has water vapor that is being released when you're doing that cooking. And that accelerates mold growth, in your kitchen. So you don't want the mold in your house. And that's one of the ways it can get there. I think that's why they insist that you have one in your bathroom, because there's a lot of water vapor and stuff going in there. Okay. And they want to get all that out, but also in your kitchen, that can help as well. So gotta let you know that if you have an electric stove, you don't have to worry about the carbon monoxide and that, but there are the particulate matter that's going to be inhaled into your body. You do need to worry about that portion of that also. So you do probably help to have some type of exhaust with that also. And lastly, I wanted to talk a little bit about candle burning, because some people like to burn candle or incense. So we're talking about any fuel burning thing. So that includes burning candles, burning incense, that kind of thing. And some candles can release those toxins, the toluene and whatever can come out of candles as well, depending on what kind of candle it is. They were talking about one of the ones that you could try to use would be beeswax or soy candles. Okay, but some of the other candles, especially scented candles, are releasing toxins as well. And so that's why I'm calling this the new secondhand smoke, because you may not be smoking inside your house or allow smoking inside your house. But if those fumes from the gas burning things, your stove tops, your gas ovens, your gas dryers, your fireplaces, your furnaces, those things, that is also releasing that into the air, and you need to deal with that as best you can. So if you want some more tips on reducing air pollution, I do have a little chart on my website. Keep Your Brain Sharp is listed there in the resource library. You get on the website, you can get free access to the resource library, and you can get those tips there, because your brain's destiny is in your hands.